And hello, everyone. This is Ali Azzeddin from Fourth Generation for Education. And I'm so excited to be with you today. This is our last session for the day, session number 7 with Mihai Catrinar. And Mihai is a very good friend. Mihai, I would like to share with you where are our attendees from. So I'm going to end the polling now, and I'm going to share the results. We have around 2% in Africa, maybe people in Egypt and Ghana, they can tell us where they are. 8% in Europe, and you have some people watching from Romania. If you don't know, Mihai is Romanian. 76% are in Asia, 8% are in the Middle East. We have Jordan, North America, South America. And then I would be interested to know where in North America. We had people from Canada this morning, and we had people from Colombia. So are you still watching from the same countries? 70% are PE teacher, but you can still invite other people to watch, your coordinators and other class teachers. 16% are class teacher, 11% are coordinator, and then 52%, Mihai, they plan concept-based unit in PE, 10% they don't do it, and 39% they do it sometimes. So hopefully in the session this afternoon or this evening or this morning, you will get to know more tips and hints from Mihai. Remember, in the chat, make sure you are putting all panelists and attendees so everyone can read your answers. If you have any question to Mihai, please send it in the Q&A. I'm going to stop talking here and give the talk to Mihai. Go ahead, Mihai.
Okay, right. So I'm going to start sharing, and just to make sure that, okay, we have the computer sound on, and here we are. Good evening, everyone, wherever you are. It is evening in Doha. It might be morning somewhere else, and I've seen some of you in Colombia. That's fantastic. Asia, Europe, North America. I'm going to introduce first my two collaborators this evening, and this is first Mihaela.
Hey everyone.
Okay, and this is Alex.
Hello there.
Okay, if you've been tuned us to our sessions with Fourth Generation for Education, you know them from their YouTube channels that we are using in school, and they shared the workouts with us. So without further ado, let's proceed. It's the end of the day, and I know you're excited about learning, and you are kind of like-minded if you're still here and you're tuned with us. Good. So as usual, this is the QR code that takes you to my link tree, where you can find everything about my experience as an IB educator and so on. And mostly, you know that I'm formulating, I'm big on setting, and I'm formulating my goals, and these are my learning intentions. I really plan to lead outdoor education. My next courses, I'm a lifelong learner, and I'm concerned about 2 important courses to wrap up the year. This was amazing. Leading Conceptual Learning Transfer and MIPP course. Still working on launching an educational podcast with one of my former colleagues. I hope she's around here. Hi, Dalila, hopefully. And yes, my son is here after the lockdown, and I'm gonna, by the end of the year, I'm gonna swim butterfly. All right, so you know I'm big about movement and role modeling this, so we have a minute just to get energized. It's the end of the day. I'm not gonna say please, just how many jumps can you do in a minute? And you're gonna have Mihaela on my left, Alex on my right. Alex is gonna do tuck jumps. I'm gonna do burpees, and Mihaela is going to do imaginary double under. So watch that out, okay? So
I'm doing the 1 minute.
All right, good. I'm on burpees. So minute starts now. Let's go. The minute starts now. All right. And don't forget to count. Good. All right. Let's go, let's go. We are on. It's harder a little bit with the tuck jumps. You know why? You have to pull your knees all the way up to the chest. Good, let's go. 30 seconds left. Are you still on? I know you're on. Let's go, let's go. Good. Let's get going. Mihaela keeps going. Alex is saying. 10 seconds. You can do it. All right. Let's go. 3. Let's jump. Ready. And that's it. Good. I think we start in style. Ali, I could see you jumping on your seat and excited.
I don't have a space. I'm in my very limited box with a artificial screen at the back.
There's always an excuse, Ali.
Conrad is saying, would love to see all the attendees jumping. Maybe they can take photo of our next exercise and put it on Twitter, Mihai, and tag you, right?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so once we are doing the following exercise, take a photo and then tag Mihai on Twitter. Mahmoud, he said he's done it 40 times. So
40 times.
Alex and Michaela?
How many?
40.
40, Alex? How many? She didn't count Mihaela. That's fine.
What about you, Mihai?
69. How many did I do?
69, okay.
14 burpees. I cannot do more than 14 burpees. Let's go to the, let's get moving. Now that we are...
Mihai,
yeah.
One parent said that jumping for kids is useless. How can you convince them that it's not?
That's a very good question. I can convince them first by working on a safe technique and tell them what are the, why do we do, how jumps, how a healthy jump looks like, and why do we do it, and bring all the benefits that their body is reaping when they are doing these jumps. We can also differentiate and say that if anyone is having, let's say, it's injured or having some health conditions, definitely we can come with alternative exercise for them that will not hurt them or jeopardize their safety.
Good.
Okay. All right, good. So let's start with the first question. So what's worth learning in physical education? And these are our learning intentions for today's session. And I would like you to, we're gonna address them through a storyboard unit, as you may be aware of already. And first we're gonna look at the acquire phase and try to answer the question, how do we support students to organize pieces of information into sets of ideas, hence the conceptual understanding topic of this presentation. In the second part, we're going to try to answer the question of why is synergistic thinking essential in the acquiring and connecting processes of learning. And we're going to see how we can make meaning and better draw the learning context. And on the last question, we're going to look at how we can support students to transfer new understandings into real life situations. With that in mind, I will just, you know that I'm really a big fan of drawing the context, and I think Dave Perkins sustains it in a very constructive way. What best builds understanding for our students? And based on empirical research, students, they use their skills towards understanding of and with the topic. So it's not only what they are learning about, but what they're also able to do. Also, students, they are looking to find applications beyond the school context, and it's up to us to really plan for these activities and to place students in the right learning context. Learners, they imagine possible applications. So how can this new learning be applied in my in my real life. Maybe I can do it within my after school activity. Maybe I can do it in the club I'm joining. Maybe I can join a training routine with my parents. And the last one will be students can apply new understandings in project-based situations. So we want to aim towards project-based learning and situations that, again, develop this conceptual understanding. All right, so starting with the chat activity, I would like you to think about what is a concept in your own words and why conceptual understanding in physical education. It's doubled up over here. That's fine.
So for all the attendees,
I think it's really important.
Yeah, for all the attendees who've been with us since the morning, they should know the answer now about what is a concept. So let me check, and I remind everyone to choose all panelists and attendees in the chat, because once you are clicking all panelists and attendees, we can all see the answers. So Mihai started with what is a concept and why conceptual understanding in physical education, and we are waiting to see your answer. If you are watching us on Facebook, you can also type in the chat of Facebook, and the answer started. Concept, it's a big idea, according to whom? According to Shanti. A concept transfers over time and space. There are no limitations, no fixed rules. It's universal from Umayma. It's a big idea. It's abstract, it's timeless. And think about the second question, why concepts in PE? Giotti is saying that we can transfer it. Hello, Sean again. He said, big ideas that require complex thinking. Why in PE? Because it shifts from student just doing to understanding. And they know the why behind the doing. To learn and apply the life skills from Edward. Maybe this is a connection to PE. Carrie is saying it's a timeless, universal, abstract, and we use it in PE to deepen learning. And what else? Because life is not only about skills, we need those concepts. It makes connection to real life experiences, and we go deeper in our learning.
All right. These are great answers, Ali, and I believe that we have a great audience here with a great conceptual understanding. I heard in the WISE, I heard the transfer, and this is fantastic. It's a great concept that we're gonna address throughout this presentation. And yes, you kind of you are paraphrasing Lynn Erickson definition that concept they really transfer through time across cultures and across situation, and there are those mental constructs that that help us to provide examples that have common attributes. Okay, so another good definition from James Nottingham is that a concept is an organizing idea containing attributes derived from examples. So, and it's very similar. You can notice the similarities between the two. With that in mind, let's move on and let's think about as physical educators, and not only maybe a specialist, maybe you're a drama specialist, maybe you're a music specialist. What sets us apart? And what are we over this one? Okay, good. And why this this conceptual understanding? And what I want you to think about is, can you make a connection with the related concepts? Can you provide, say in the chat, 3 or 4 essential related concepts that you are using and they're like the core of your activity? So maybe you prefer them the most. So let's hear that and let's see how are you tackling conceptual understanding in physical education, and how do you offer, how do you expose the students to a larger understanding that allows you for transfer ultimately. So let's hear.
So we have hand-eye coordination, fitness, endurance, sequence, pattern, agility, safety, health, gross motor skills, team bonding, team spirit, coordination, motor skills, achievement, choice and space. I'm just picking the new ones, Mihai. Agility, taking turns, system, winning, losing, maybe drama, role plays. All those are concepts related to PE. Hayat is adding a key concept from perspective, another key concept form, technique, safety. Someone is saying system is a great one. Someone is saying go and look at the PSPE scope and sequence. Physical ability, mental ability, those are some of the idea, Mihai, in the chat. I think this is a good start, so people, they know what is a concept and what are the related concepts. So we are ready for the next step with you. Go ahead.
Exactly. So I think you nailed it. You nailed most of them, and you really know what we are talking about. And mostly, yes, I'm glad you mentioned the PSP as being one of the document that's at the base of our planning activity in PYP schools. And not only, given the fact that the scope and sequence is one of my former head of P, Mark Williams, used to say it's extremely conceptual and very rich and can be employed by any other subjects due to its transdisciplinary attributes. Now, related to that, I believe that, and I want to make a point about when you talk about related concepts, I heard movement, if I'm not wrong. I would like to emphasize, and when I'm saying this, we are talking a lot about student agency and how do we promote that. And I believe also that this agency should start from us as educators, and how do we actually perceive it and how do we model it to our students. So according to Banduras, who coined the agency and has a lot of research on human agency, at first we need to have intentionality. We have action plans and strategies in place for the goal setting, which I think it's a great related concept in the present context. And another good related concept will be self-regulation, the students' ability to regulate their thoughts, emotions, behavior, and how they can exert control and autonomy over their activity. And the last but not least, it's self-reflection. So, and refers very closely, we can connect it with self-efficacy of the individual. So I believe that it's really important that we anchor our planning in and offer breadth of understanding to our students through the related concepts, especially as a specialist. Good. Now, what is the role then of physical education curriculum in your school's program? How do you see it in your school's program, and what is your priority as a physical educator? So I would like to take your time in the chat and maybe to share your answers about it.
And it would be interesting to know how many sessions do they teach per week, how many time do they have. So the answer started. It's about the kids' well-being, about it's fitness for all. We connect with the units of inquiry. It allows for a deeper understanding for the concept of health and wellness. So those are some of the ideas coming in the chat. So we have 2 sessions per week regarding the time spent. It's related to well-being. It's related to engage the student interaction. We have some standalone unit. We connect with the unit of the POI. They do it once a week. It's a little bit sad to hear once a week PE. but depends on maybe they have other options. And then again, the concept of fitness and well-being are coming again and again. The concept of holistic development, holistic approach. So we do a lot of outdoor learning activities, experiences, and these ideas, Mihai.
All right, so I think we are divided. Some they're in a mixed situation, some face-to-face in school and some online, and some that are just online. My school is in this context at the moment, temporary, I believe. And yes, just looking at our curriculum responsibility, I believe that it should describe the progression and development of knowledge, understanding, and skills. And according to the Australian curriculum, this priority should be all about movement. And I hear a lot of you talking about skills. And us as physical educators, we must ensure that the students are provided with the learning opportunities to apply, create, evaluate, yes, and reflect on the knowledge, understanding, and skills acquired. And yes, as physical educators, we are all curriculum designers. And I do invite you to share your quality P thoughts with the teams you are in. So setting the context, we can just move a little bit before we dive straight in. Good. So end of the day, 1 minute to win it. How many squats can you do in 1 minute? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do some split squats. So I'm going to place my foot on the chair and bend my front knee. Alex is going to do some
jump squats.
And Mihaela is going to do some
Sumo squats.
Some sumo squats. Mihaela is doing sumo squats. So let's get going. All right. So 1 minute. If you're doing split squats like me, you can use your bed side. This is what I encourage my students. They love to jump in bed. So just to answer to those parents, let your kids jump in bed. Let them dirty the walls a little bit, okay? And stop worrying about safety if they do not experience, different learning situations. Good. And we get closer to 30 seconds further. Good. And this is time for me to alternate my leg. Maybe Alex is going to show us a different squat. He has different ways to exercise. It's creating workouts, same as Mihaela. You can connect with them to their YouTube channels. Some of you are doing it already. Oh, 10 seconds on.
And don't forget to take a photo of the exercise maybe, yeah?
All right, you can definitely find them on their channels. Good. Shake your legs. My quads are burning. And just to go back to what I was saying earlier, the priority of our curriculum and our prime responsibility is to teach students about movement. Please, movement through any channels, online, face-to-face. Go there, model it, join it, and make it happen.
So we have 25, we have 30, again 30. I'm not sure about you if you counted them, Mihai, or we have 32, 27.
17, Alex.
Okay.
19, Mihaela.
Good. And we have a 35 and the 38, 38 from Maher.
Oh, okay. I need them in my class, please. Tomorrow tomorrow you book to my lesson, my PE lesson, grade 4.
And you can join Mihai online, right? So
definitely, so easy. Good. So I hope you energized a little bit, and now your neurotransmitters are starting connections, because we're gonna just jump straight into planning. So I hope that you're using this visible thinking routine. This is how I used to think. A little bit of planning and reflecting with my son about the grade 5 unit. And this is how I think now in the present context. I got to be ready, and I got to provide my students with different avenues, and that means that can be a news article, can be a video, can be a link to a document where they can record their reflections. So yes, we have to be ready. So having this compare and contrast between what it used to be and where we are now, I have to confess that I prefer the pen and paper, and I still do it, and I just love to see that thinking on the paper. What I'm going to model for you today is a storyboard of a unit in grade 5, and this was acquired through the learning transfer mental model, acquire, connect, and transfer, promoted by and created and promoted by Julie Stern, Kayla Duncan, and Trevor Elio from Ed to Save the World. They've done they have a great course rolling on, and I'm moving straight to our grade 5 invasion games unit. Okay, so this is our unit that I'm going to start right after the break. So that's in 10 days from now on, or less than 10 days. And these are the lines of inquiry with the key concepts. And you're going to notice at the bottom, I just want you to focus on the related concepts: role, responsibility, decision-making, possession, and interception. And just to promote the vertical articulation of our curriculum in grade 4, during invasion game, students that are exposed to related concepts of attack and defense. Okay, so now we are gaining a bit more depth in grade 5, and we are naming what is at the core attack as action in a game. That's possession, right? Because you want to keep the ball, you want to maintain the object. And what is at the core of defense? That's interception. And I'm sure that most of you know what I'm talking about. Now, and this is the storyboard that I've created for my grade 5 students, and it highlights the phases that they're going to be exposed to. And if we look on the first column, that's the acquiring phase. And this is what I want them to use the concepts to help them organize their thinking. In the second column is the connect phase. This is where this is the intentional part of the planning, when they draw the context of their learning and they understand what is going to happen and how concepts relate to each other. And then is the transfer phase with the similar and dissimilar activities, and we're going to talk just in a bit about it. At last, we have the student action, and this is the moment when we want students to apply. And I've mentioned earlier about that problem-based learning or project-based learning, right? Good. So they're exposed to students in grade 5. They're exposed to a provocation. What are some examples of invasion games? And in this phase, some of the success criteria as educators, when we are planning for them, will be that we can help them become more conscious about how their thinking goes on and how do they understand concepts, and how do they identify example of these concepts, formulate their own definitions, and also see some non-examples, identify them. And with this in mind, one way to do it, so we are talking about the first phase, the acquiring. One way to do it is to expose them to, so I'm just gonna go back. Our anchoring concepts were role, responsibility, decision-making, possession, interception. So we want to find a strategy. We want to expose students to the better understanding of what are these concepts, what are some examples and some non-examples. And going back, the first one is the role. Good. So, and I just want them, I am using pictures here, and I want them to identify different roles. And I just want them to observe the commonalities of these roles and what actually what is essential in the attributes of the role? And I'm sure that some of you can answer now in the chat and can provide some answers. And we can see, yeah.
I'm answering plenty of questions, Mihai, and the people are asking, is this a standalone unit or integrated unit? And then I said it's a standalone one. We are sharing a standalone one, right?
Correct.
And they are asking about your story and if you are able to share it. And then I said, you will be sharing it. You are planning to write a blog around it, right?
Oh yes, so that's very good. That's very good that you brought up that, Ali. The storyboard itself, the way I'm presenting it right now, I'm gonna make it available to you on my blog, and with explanations and with the whole timeline of it. So there's no need for you to take screenshots or just to worry about.
Very good. And in all cases, the session is recorded. So the key word that is coming from the photo and the common word is teamwork, team building. This is what do we have in the chat, and many people are mentioning the same word, Mihai.
Okay, so thinking of a role, can you identify different roles in these pictures?
So they are mentioning the idea of responsibility, coordination, teamwork, cooperation, coordination, again, competition.
Can we see any leaders in there?
They are mentioning leadership, team leader, planning, communication. Good. Okay.
Can we see any attackers or defenders maybe?
Strategy, working towards the same outcome. We are seeing the word attack, attackers, offending, offensing, teamwork.
Getting there. That's good. That's
Getting
good.
There.
So,
are you looking for a specific word, Mihai?
I'm not looking for a specific word. I'm just looking to create a better understanding, and that's something that it's great that we have so many commonalities. But yes, again, talking about invasion games, we relate to attack and defense and their relative roles. And also we are looking at some form of leadership. And I heard that very well posed in the chat. Okay, now we have some roles in these games, and I'm sure that everyone knows what the invasion games are. And let's look at how we can tackle responsibility as a concept. And one way to do it is through the FRAIR model, and I'm providing students with a definition of responsibility. Then I would like them to write in their own words what is responsibility from their perspective. And we're talking here about a flipped learning approach, right? So this can be one assignment that is being given to the students to complete in their own time. And what are some characteristics of responsibility? What are some examples that maybe you have in your own context? And what are some non-examples of responsibility? So maybe can we hear some ideas in the chat?
I'm having a look also on what's happening on Facebook and the interaction on Facebook.
All right.
So some of the ideas.
So what is an attacker doing? What is an attacker doing? Think about an attacker. Think about a defender. Think about the captain. What are their responsibilities? And those can be some good examples, right, that we can use. What are some non-examples?
Having a duty to deal with someone, they have some responsibility, they take care of the team emotion. These are some of the ideas. They are taking ownership of doing something. They score, they organize. What else do we have in the chat? They are a playmaker. Yeah, voilà.
Can we have some non-examples? Because I think we stump into it all the time, isn't it? When our children, they play even during the break, and you can spot these moments. Can we have some non-examples of responsibility? Especially we see those informal leaders, you know, what do they do? What do they do actually?
Someone who's being tagged, backup, And now, because the chat is coming to the 2 questions, so I need to select which one. He's not concerned about the team.
Exactly.
Putting blames on others, not doing anything.
Exactly.
Okay,
Good.
so those are the non-examples, Mihai.
These are great non-examples. Thank you. Good. So we talk about roles, we talk about responsibilities, and now we can also tackle the decision-making concept. And we do this through the 4 corners. We provide students with 4 different answers and address the question of which one of the answers best represents their current thinking about decision making. And I'm sure that by going through them, you can definitely identify what will be the best position you want to be in when taking a decision making that fulfills the goal of your team. So there's no need to interact in the chat, but I would just like you to take your time and if you imagine that you are, let's say, you're the attacker of your team, and will it be decision making maybe the moment when you do whatever you feel like doing in that moment, or it's better to consider the consequences and make choices based on the likely outcome or result? Okay, so what are some points where we want to see where do students position themselves, and this will turn into an answer to ourselves about where they stand in terms of understanding. Good. So having this, we are moving to possession. This was one of the second last related concept, and I have illustrated it here through a football team that passes. I think they do 26 passes. Without having the opponent touching the ball, and they finally score. And I provide students here with the definition of possession, and I can use also the Frere model to tackle this concept, but mainly
in the 6-0 win against Serbia and Montenegro. It was built.
Okay, so I believe with this example, it's pretty self-explanatory for the students to understand what possession is and how this actually how this is looking like in a game, an innovation game situation. So providing them with an opportunity to observe, reflect, and then apply it in their during the unit. And the last related concept, anchoring concept in this unit was interception. So I want them to watch two different videos, and also to identify what are the essential attributes of an interception. So I'm going to quickly play a basketball rebound. All right, so I hope this is working.
And banks it in with a foul. Kawhi Leonard, as Ray Allen is shaken up on the play.
So I want them to see how this transfers in.
James, stolen by Joseph. Joseph goes at Anderson, layup shot, good, and one. Spurs are pouring it on. Back out to James. Stolen by Leonard.
All right, so we want to see.
Seventh Miami turnover. Parker with a spin move. Oh, what a pretty play.
The
No.
movie.
You need to exit from YouTube, I think.
All right,
Yes.
good. So, and I'm not in.
But then you need to be in a present mode, maybe again. You can stop sharing
Yes.
the screen and do it again.
Yeah, definitely.
And while you are doing that, I want just to tell you that we have plenty of questions about the online learning, so we can think about the answer for the end. And if you are ready to continue, I'm happy to continue.
Yeah, just I'm trying to figure out what happened here.
Well, yeah, stop sharing completely and then share again.
Yes.
And we still have approximately 15 minutes.
Yeah, we are right there.
I think that the participants are engaged with you, and so there is a lot of learning happening. Good.
All right, so we looked at the anchoring concepts, and also we want to provide students with an opportunity to self-assess in this anchoring concepts. And this is one example to do it for the interception that I'm going to share also with you. Good. Before we move to the second round, minute to win it. How do you use the chair you're sitting on, to exercise? Are you ready? Are you ready? Right. So
Ready, Mihai.
I'm gonna use my chair to do some squats. Alex is gonna use his chair to do some dips, and Mihaela is going to use the same chair to do some incline push-ups. All right. Are you ready? So minute starts now. So let's get going. Easy to model it to your students. This is something that I did Thursday with the students during the assembly. We had like a 10 minutes Energizer in physical education. Good. And let's get going. Let's get going. Good. All right. 30 seconds, 20, 10. Good. And I'm sure you can come with different exercises, maybe one leg squats. You can help yourselves. Maybe some mountain climbers. Good. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's great. Good.
It's a completely different vibes, Mihai, in the PE session today.
All right, we gotta get moving. It's all
And
about.
Sena is saying we can use the chairs to do acrobatics and yoga, planks, squats, and many other items or exercises they were mentioned in the chat.
Definitely, definitely. Good. I'm just going to move on to the next phase of the storyboard, and this is about creating connection. And this is the, as I said, intentional part of our planning. And this is where we draw a context that we can assess. And we offer the students the clarity in the purpose they have through the questions we are preparing for them and the way we address them and connect this related concept. Like, how does the role impact our responsibility? What is the difference between possession, interception, and overarching questions like that can be asked throughout the entire unit? How are role, responsibility, and decision-making connected? In this phase, we want to use strategies to help guiding students to connect these concepts. We want them to support their understanding and build these relationships build these conceptual relationships, and we want them to think about how these concepts can better be illustrated and we find this context for them. These are some of the questions that I'm going to share with you and that highlight the connection and the relationship between the anchoring concept and the situation. I'm putting the students here. I'm not going to play the movie. I'm offering them the possibility to watch a movie, a handball movie, where they can visualize the attack and defense tactics and strategies, and what are the roles and responsibilities in this play. And I also provide them with an article, which is like a 5 minutes read about the impact of role and responsibility in a team activity. So having said that, I want them to get, after the acquiring phase, I want students to gain a deeper level in their learning and to start making the connections between these 5 concepts that I choose for them. Now, moving to the third one, as Lynn Erickson said, transfer of understanding through time across cultures and across situation indicates a depth of understanding. And I think this is a guiding thought for us in our planning activity. And in the transfer phase, we want to promote depth and breadth of understanding through 2 different situations, a similar and a dissimilar one. And we're going to see in a bit what I'm talking about. In a similar situation, we just want students to be presented with a novel situation, but close enough to make connections between the anchoring concept, like responsibility. So I'm providing them with a video about personal responsibility, and I'm not going to play it again. You're going to have an idea about what I'm talking about. This is a similar context, but when I'm aiming for a dissimilar context, I want them, the goal is to make them able to transfer the understanding in a completely foreign situation. So in this, I'm presenting them with a movie about the invasion of lizards in Puerto Rico. Bam. All right, so
iguanas are big. They can grow up to 6 feet long with their tails. They're beautiful, they're gorgeous. Make no mistake, they are really attractive.
These animals are causing air traffic delays, they're eating crops, and causing damage in general to infrastructure.
Iguanas will nest very close to a road, and they actually are making up to 30 different caves underneath the road. So when there's a vehicle crossing the road with several passengers, the road will collapse.
That's why they call it a green plague. And why is it a plague? Because it's an invasive species. These guys came here through the pet trade. They've dispersed throughout the island. Many factors are affecting their population distribution, but it can be as many as 75 eggs per clutch, per one female. That's a lot.
Okay, so it's about invading lizards in Puerto Rico and the way the community finds ways, and they are volunteering to actually destroy the eggs and reduce the impact this invasion creates in their overall economic aspects. So back to the aim of this dissimilar aspect of the transfer situation is to present students a complete different and foreign situation other than invasion games per se. Good. So I'm going to share this again with you. So you're going to have you're going to have the opportunity to see the entire movie. So having tackled all this anchoring concept through these 3 phases with the questions that highlight the connections between them, the student action comes in hand naturally. And in this case, for grade 5, they have to create an invasion game. in which they use role, responsibility, and decision making for an effective play. And I'm highlighting this through a grasp scenario that they can access also through the storyboard. When I'm going to share this with you in my blog, you're going to have also access to the templates that I created for it. So it's just ready to use. The only challenge for you is to contextualize the storyboard and to see how it fits your unit. This is not a unit planner. This is a way to tackle concepts. Feel free to maybe replace some of the concepts and input yours. Feel free to maybe you find relevant videos or articles that you can share with us. That will be fantastic. Good. So this is a storyboard. This is the invasion game, and I hope that by now we have answered the initial questions of how students gain understanding of related concepts, make connections by organizing their thinking and by having a clarity of purpose, and also transfer this understanding to a similar and dissimilar situation. Last, we have the action, and we have noticed that grasp scenario that you can visualize later on. Good. I'm going to save, I don't know if we have time for reflection.
Yeah, of course, like the participant, they can share what they got from the session via the chat. And then Mihai, you can also share your strategy about the 1, 2, 3. Go ahead. And,
okay. So yeah, so the main idea is like, this was also inspired by Dave Perkins' presentation. It's about what can you add, what's one topic or maybe one concept that you're going to add yourself as an educator or your team toward learning that will make a difference in the life of your students. What's the one topic maybe that you can expand? This is likewise like double it, good. And what's the one topic that maybe you're gonna shrink? Yes, you're gonna kind of slow down and maybe tackle it less because it doesn't make such a big impact according to your own reflections. So hence, this is 1, 2, 3 reflections. Let's hear some thoughts in the chat. I'll be very curious to see that and hear that.
I like your plus, your multiply and divide with the numbers. And I would like to invite all the attendees to wait for our upcoming event. And we will announce it very soon. So stay tuned on our Facebook website or even all our social media link. While the people are reflecting and then they are thinking about the takeaway from the session, Mihai, if you don't mind going again through the next slides.
Yes, this is, we're going to get back to it. I would like to thank you, address a big thank you to your organization, Ali. This year has been fantastic and it still is rolling on.
Of course, we still have more things to do done together.
Connections and learning happening. Even my kids are like thrilled about some of your presentations and your storytelling. That's fantastic. And stay tuned and connected with us as 4 Generations for Education is addressing mostly all the needs in 3 languages with a multitude of experts and whether you're an expert or you're just like at the beginning of your career, you have loads to learn. I'm learning with every single session I'm attending, and I'm really thankful to this growing community that you are taking care of here, Ali.
Thank you, Mihai. Our collaboration will continue. People are asking the credit about the design, so I said Mihai will share it.
All right, okay. These are the takeaways. So watch out, because my kids are warming up now. So these are my takeaways as an educator from the experience, especially during online. Be the best role model you can be in your sessions, and begin your sessions moving all the time. This is how you're going to emphasize the importance of exercise and physical activity in your in the well-being of your students. Then play to differentiate if you have the chance, and that's a great way to get closer to the students that need it the most. And I'm talking about the students that maybe have difficulties with language, with skills. Play with them and differentiate and add strength to your approaches. Then define yourself as a learner. Be one of the learners. Be in a team of learners and accept that you can learn from your students. Also, bring your best mindset. It makes a huge difference. Your smile, your extra energy, and express your joy for movement, because we are here in this position, and our main priority in our curriculum and activity, it is movement. Okay, with that in mind, just 1 second, minute to win it. This is about what you want to do right now. So this is your agency. Become an agent of your own physical activity. I know it's the end of the day, but me and Alex and Mihaela, thank you so much, guys. They're so excited to be in a webinar. For them, it's a big thing. Okay, we decided a handstand. You can, if you look at the pictures, you can do a shrimp squat. You can do maybe some monkey walk. You can do a cartwheel. You can do some V-ups. You can just get on the table and do a push-up like Mihaela, you know, just do something that will grow your health and will grow your spirit. So 1 minute, the movement of your choice. For us, it is handstand on the wall. Let's go. All right.
So while they are doing their headstand or head standing on their heads, the whole family, as you can see, they are all experts in PE. I would like to explain for you how you can get the certificates, and then I have a question. So don't leave. We are going to answer your question. Right. Mihai, if you don't mind. Okay, so you're enjoying what they are doing. I have the link for our YouTube channel for you. We have all our upcoming events, and then we have the link for the certificates. Mihai, if you don't mind, show us the credit of your PowerPoint template, because I want to
definitely. So this is a template that was created by SlidesGo. So all the credits go to them, and this is again my special thanks for attending this webinar at the end of the day. My Linktree QR code and my email address, just in case you get lost with between the diversity of social media. Get in touch with me and stay connected with the blog where I'm gonna post.
I shared it via the chat as well. Mihai, do you mind stopping sharing your screen for a moment? And we will answer the question. So I promised to Jeff, I'm going to answer his question.
You haven't done the exercises, Ali.
Have a look at the question while I'm sharing with them how they can order certificates. So this is our website. I shared with you the link, so you can look at all our upcoming events. This month we still have events related to inquiry, related to ATL, in French, in English, in Arabic, as Mihai said, 3 different speakers or even 4 speakers. Please have a look at everything here on the website via the chat, and stay tuned for our upcoming thematic day. If you want to buy the certificate for Mihai's session or anyone else, and then buying those certificates is to support us to provide you with these excellent speakers and excellent sessions, you can just go here and you can order it as you order anything online from Amazon or from any website. You click on the session and then you add it to your basket, and then you go and you pay via a credit card. So this is a very easy. If you are facing any difficulty, feel free to contact us and we will be able to support you. Mihai, the questions are in the Q&A, and Jeff is asking, how do you do Invasion game online? And as I told you, many people are asking about the online lessons. Can you give us some tips about that?
Okay, I was waiting for that question. So the aim of the storyboard is promoting exactly the flipped learning approach. It's a way to assign your students and to build an understanding of these concepts and how they interact and what's their relationship within the unit. If let's say like in a scenario where you have, let's say, mixed classes online and face-to-face in school, this comes in hand fantastically because most of the practical work goes in school, and online you just employ the storyboard, and I think that's a great way, and it's a very flexible way to do it. Get connected, and I'm willing to explain more in detail if you want.
Sure, Mihai is very active on social media.
Blog.
He has his own blog, Twitter account, Facebook. So just also by Googling his name, Mihai Catrinar, you can find everything. The session is recorded.
I've seen something about the barriers about the online learning and so on in the chat, and I think that's also something that we tackled in the previous sessions. We've done a Venn diagram about online learning and face-to-face, and just go to our resources we have created online. Connect with us, and we're happy to share with you these resources.
So I want to thank all the people who were attending on Facebook. So I would like to thank them. I'm stopping it here. I'm stopping the recording as well. And